Paralysis by analysis. A year ago, I wouldn't post most of what I post now. And before that, even less, and before that, I wouldn't even have thought about it. Because it wasn't good enough. We have an obsession with mimicry in this world. Acceptance. We seek acceptance in this world because we find it hard to accept ourselves. We find it hard to accept ourselves because we have abandoned our truths. We put it down, we ignored it because every time we tried to, it got hurt. Every time we tried to show our heart to someone, it got stepped on, dropped. We have to learn value in this world through other broken people, other broken circumstances, things that don't honor the truth. Because let's face it, the truth often hurts. And so, paralysis by analysis. We get caught up in this pursuit of perfection. And we're looking at a static from the perspective of the natural dynamic, We don't realize that we're in process. No one's perfect, we never will be. And that's not the point anyway. It's about a conscious recognition that I'm growing every day. Healing every day. Learning every day. To see accomplishments, to feel like we have made progress is very important. But oftentimes we're caught up external, so we measure our growth through external expressions, through other people, through dynamics in relation to this world, things we gotta do. And so when we've made mistakes in the past, it's cost us friends, loved ones, opportunities, experiences. And we don't want to make those mistakes again. So we analyze things, overanalyze things. We get caught up in the mind. We forget that ignorance is how we learn. And it hurts to accept that. And oftentimes, to even try and express that to other people, they don't understand it themselves, so they just feed into the projections. Sometimes it's a twist of the knife, Because hurt people, if they're not willing or able to accept their own mistakes, their own pains, they will project them upon you. So every mistake you make, every little lack of technique, every whatever, they're judging that. And when your judgment is external, you can't hold it within yourself. So who gives a shit anyway what people think? What I think has changed over time. And so I imagine everyone is the same, Our beliefs change over time. What we think changes over time. If someone wants to judge me based on past experience, that's okay. That was who I was in the past. It's not who I am now. I'm okay with admitting my mistakes, with admitting where I've come from, because it's helped to create who I am now. The sinner is the saint. When we overanalyze things, we just feed into the chase. We say, well, I'm not worth it. It's not worth it. It is what it is. It will always be like this. Because to stand up and realize that we've held ourselves back through our own ignorance, we forget the gifts that the ignorance gave us. And so I think, Virgo, when I think of paralysis by analysis, astrologically speaking, you look at any sign, you count 8 houses from where it is, 8 signs from where it is, and you have a in conjunction, a quincunx, if you're one of those anal retentive astrology students out there. Transformation is through the raw expression. In life, when I wanted to do something, I did it. I didn't think about it. Because if I did think about it, I wouldn't do it. Now, I made most of my mistakes early, and I saw through my brothers and sisters and friends their mistakes. And so I learned to make my mistakes wise. Probabilities and potentials, sensations, reading the signs, understanding things. It's like, okay, if I go down this path and I commit to this, what are the repercussions? What's the worst that could happen? Was it worth the gain? And I didn't always have a balanced sense of what that was, you know. I mean, I don't even know if I still do. But it's more informed than it used to be. And so with that raw, primal impetus for expression, to do what you feel you're here to do, is counterbalanced in a sextile back to Aquarius when you're looking at that paralysis by analysis through a Virgoan perspective. And so with Aquarius, it is that impetus to rebel, to release what has held you back. Sometimes it's tradition, sometimes it's ways of being, thinking in relation to who you've been. Sometimes it's release to gain a higher perspective. Aquarius is yang, Aries is yang, Virgo is yin. The natural progression is yin to yang, or yang to yin. You know, it's all part of processes, seasons. So I often felt the smartest people were the ones that acted the stupidest. Because they would overthink things so much, and it would castrate the meaning of what it is they're trying to do. Sometimes you just have to put it out, sometimes you just have to move. But if you can't trust your own instincts, your own sense of value, your own self, it's hard to do that in this world. The way you can do that is trying to make your mistakes wise, you know. You can make your mistakes wise without thinking about it if you find yourself in alignment with what it is that feeds your soul, your spirit, and moving towards that. If you can find that within yourself, you can honor it in other people. When you honor it in other people, your decisions are more balanced because you know, okay, well, they might be upset, but they'll get over it. Or I might lose this, but I'll get over it. I might lose this to gain something else. We have problems with that because a lot of things happen to us in life with which we would not have wanted to happen to us. Experiences which shape us, things that are highly impactful. And so there's a fear, there's a tension that rises. But you know, you are in reciprocity with your relation to this world, and if you can't find balance within yourself, the world will bring you into balance through chaotic situations sometimes. I was able to see the chaos in a lot of the scenarios around me, so I didn't have to carry it myself. Sometimes I did, you know, it just depended on the state of being. Cycles and seasons. It's a maturation process. Sometimes you can sit and feel into the emotions, sometimes you need to coax it out through action. When you're in direction, central locus of control is in your awareness, you know. You're living this life for you first. When you live it for yourself best you can, you know that you're going to give others a balanced expression of yourself, a fair trade of energy. And when other people can't match that, meet that, then you don't need to waste your time with that. Just move along, because they ain't ready for it. That's how it is. Don't let your loved ones, don't let people's expectations, perceptions, the virtue of culture and society hold you back from an honest, true expression of yourself, because this life is the only life that matters. But if you don't take the chances in life, you never figure it out. You won't learn. And we do our best thinking when it's in alignment with the heart. And the heart is the spark that gets you moving, you know. Everything that comes from that is pure. Every mistake and every gain is for your benefit at that point. And when you're making decisions based off the mind is trapped in the ego constructs of the loops. Then you're overanalyzing because you're considering things that don't mean jack shit in the grand scheme of things. Ephemeral projections. Reflections on the ever-flowing stream of life. And sure, it may mean things to other people. It may have meant something to you in the past. And you can honor what you feel you're obligated to honor, but don't worship it. Don't sacrifice yourself for it. So nothing has to be perfect. Perfect is just a pursuit. It's a carrot on a stick. You know, when the flowers bloom, they don't know the seasons to come. When we plant the seeds, we don't know how the soil, the sun, the moon, we don't know how the rains are going to affect the outcome. We just got to do it knowing that if we don't, nothing will bloom. It's just faith. You gotta step out on faith in this world. Otherwise, life becomes self-fulfilling prophecy. That thing you dread. The quiet life of desperation. Alright, that's all I wanted to say.